Good morning and welcome to this community meditation. And good morning to all of you who are joining us online today. And thank you for being here to connect with this consciousness this morning. My name is Debbie Little, and I'm a practitioner for the day. So if you could take a moment, silence your cell phones so that we have an uninterrupted experience together. And this meditation is going to be a blend of spoken word with music, accompanied by some beautiful music, and silence. And it will last approximately 15 minutes. So just get yourself settled in and just be in this moment together. Just relaxing, letting go of what came before you. Any challenge or chaos or to get here. But right now, in this moment, we are just embraced by this silence, by the music, by being together. We just let go, we let God, and we are a part. We all are a part of this experience this morning. As the silence embraces us, and we take a breath in, and breathe out, just feeling that rush of air, that air that flows through our body. That God is present right here and right now in this moment. So I invite you, just take this moment to press pause, settle into your body, and inhale and exhale. It is the breath of God that breathes us into existence, into this moment, that breath of God flowing throughout our body. So we can feel the experience of this meditation. It is a loving kindness meditation. And allow these words to enter your heart space. Be intentional with your thoughts. Affirm your commitment to being a beacon of hope, encouragement, and inspiration to yourself and others. And may we listen with humility to one another with an open heart and a curious mind. And may we always remember the passage of time and those who have gone before us as we work together to create a sustainable world our children's children will be proud to walk upon. My prayer is that as we heal, we continue to shine our light and remain courageous and be the change that our world needs. So in this moment, just take a few moments to be embraced by the silence, to feel that beacon of light within yourself, knowing that wherever you are, you have that consciousness, and you don't have to say a word, but people around you feel it, and they are surrounded and almost hugged by that warmth and light that you have within yourself. Just remember that is who you are, that light, that shining bright light that radiates like that lighthouse of love, whoever you come in contact with. So just take a moment and feel that presence within yourself as you breathe in and breathe out, breathing in and breathing out, and feel that warmth spread throughout your body, feeling that light of love within yourself. Send your love, your compassion, your empathy, your healing prayer to this world. Continue to see yourself as that shining your light, brighter and brighter with every breath out, with every breath in, as you hear yourself silently say these words to yourself. May love heal our world. May we all choose kindness and compassion. May those who are sick heal. May those who are anxious find peace. May those who are in pain be relieved. May those who have light to spread come forth. And may those who have darkness in their hearts find love. May the individual and the collective fear be washed away. And may the light inside of me radiate out onto the world and every being who is a part of it. Do you see and feel that light beaming from you? Because the world needs you right now. Notice as you're walking by another person's beaming light and see one by one, 100,000, millions of people are around you, each radiating with their own source of light, shining it with healing and love out onto the world. May the light inside of me and the light inside of you and the light inside of all of us together heal this world. Send your love, your compassion, your empathy, your healing prayer to this world. And always continue to see yourself shining your light brighter and brighter with every breath in and with every breath out as you hear yourself say these words again. May love heal our world. May we all choose kindness and compassion. May those who are sick heal. May those who are anxious find peace. May those who are in pain be relieved. And may those who have light to spread come forth. May those who have darkness in their heart find love. And may the individual and the collective fear be washed away. And may the light inside of me radiate out onto this world and every being who is a part of it. Remember, the world needs you. You are that beaming light. See that light shining from within and embracing those around you. Shining it with healing and love out onto the world. And may the light inside of me and the light inside of you, we come together and we heal this world. Coming together, the world needs your consciousness and your love. And so it is. This concludes today's meditation. Thank you for being with us in spiritual practice today, and our celebration service starts at 10 o'clock. Thank you.
Keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real with Reverend Laura. Keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real with Reverend Laura.
Pretty quick, 2 minutes. Yeah. You want to sing I'm Alive?
This is Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Las Vegas. At CSL Greater Las Vegas, it is our mission to inspire spiritual discovery through community connection, exploration, and celebration. This mission supports the all-inclusive vision of Centers for Spiritual Living worldwide, in which we envision a world that works for everyone and all of creation.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Las Vegas. We are so thrilled to be here with you. It is a gorgeous summer, well, I guess it's not yet summer, but it is a gorgeous day regardless. And I'm so happy that you chose to come and visit us this morning for a little part of that. I know that you have wonderful things that will be happening for you this afternoon. I want to send out a special welcome to everyone who's joining us online. Thank you so much for being here with us. We have a very vibrant online presence. So if you would, people here in presence, turn around and give them a wave. Let everybody know that you are happy that they are here with us too. All right, we are going to kick things off. We have with us today the fabulous Melissa Allen, along with Justin Vogel here. So
Yeah, Melissa.
we've got some great music going, so we're going to turn it over to them and let them kick it off. All right.
Okay, if you're comfortable, please stand and join us in I Am a Light. Okay, so I'll guide you with these words. It's pretty straight ahead. I am a light in this world. Here we are. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. Okay, you are a light, you are a light. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. All right, lovely. Please greet your neighbor if you're comfortable.
Isn't it fun spending some time reconnecting with each other each week? I just love this, and I love the energy that's built when we're here together, hugging and shaking hands and greeting each another. I want to give a special thank you to our practitioners that are in service today. We have Merlon Hart and Judy Petit online today. I noticed this morning that both Lynn Frankenberger and Leslie McKinnon are online in service this morning, and our practitioner of the day is Debbie Little. So I'm going to invite Debbie up here to set the tone for the morning with our opening invocation. Debbie?
Good morning, everyone. It's so good to see you. We are going to start out with the affirmation for the day, so I will say it and then we'll repeat it together. The affirmation is, when I am at peace with myself, I make peace with everyone. When I am at peace with myself, I make peace with everyone. You can kind of take this in, just feel it, and maybe carry it with you throughout the day. So in this moment, we're just going to be silent for a moment, and I will give this morning's invocation. What a blessing to be present in this community, to feel the love, to feel that light within each one of us. And we embrace each other, we feel that vibration and that consciousness that we each carry with us throughout the day, throughout this moment. We feel the love. We come together as a community, but we are one individual, breathing in that essence of God and carrying it with us wherever we go. We don't have to say a word. People feel that consciousness that surrounds us. We are that beacon of light to this world. We shine it brightly, we radiate it out, knowing that we are here to heal within ourselves, but also to heal the world with our love, our compassion, our empathy, and our kindness. We know that the divine presence, that divine intelligence surrounds us and is within us at every moment. That in any situation, we are never alone. That God is present as we turn within and know that truth. And know that within ourselves, that when we face any chaos or challenge, we can simply say to ourselves, peace is where I am. And it aligns us back to the truth. And we know that we can face anything because that peace is within us and God is everywhere present. So right now, we just celebrate this moment together. The message through Reverend Laura, Spirit speaking through her. The music, the silence, the moments in between. We cherish every person in this room because we are of one mind, one love. So we take this in with a breath and breathe out and know it is the truth, and so it is.
Peace is the promise I make today. There's nothing greater for me to say than to lay down my fears, lay down unhappiness, and surrender to the peace I choose today. assess and surrender to the peace I choose today. My all I give, my love for all, my all I give, my love for all. Peace is the reason we're here today. No accident, we've been called by name, called to lay down our lives, stand up for greater good, and surrender to the peace we choose today. Peace we choose today. Peace we breathe today. Peace we live today. Peace today.
Oh, how beautiful. We're so blessed to have you with us. Thank you. Thank you. Well, this month we are talking about peace. So we've so far looked at peace from a point of view of creating peace within ourselves, peace within our relationships. Last week I talked about the relationship between mothers and peace and how mothers are so vital in the development of peace within ourselves, within each of their offspring, and within our world itself. So this week we're going to take it a little bit broader and talk about peace more in a broader context of the community and move that out even a little bit into the global world. So my title today is Becoming Peacemakers. And this comes from the Beatitudes. In the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 9, is the Beatitude that is, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be known as the children of God." These statements of Jesus of Nazareth were so powerful. This is what he opened up his most pivotal talk that he ever gave, which is the Sermon on the Mount, was opened with these 9 statements that all began with blessed. Blessed are. And, so much of our emphasis, especially in the United States, and I speak from that as an American, that we spend a lot of time being peacekeepers. The United States has historically been kind of the peacekeeper for the world. Whenever we see a conflict, we rush in and try to make things better for the people that are there. And I think we do this for a lot of different reasons. One is because sometimes it's the right thing to do. That we actually need to be helping out in places where things are so unjust that they can't continue. But I think there's even a deeper reason that we do it. Now, when I'm talking about the peacekeepers here, of course, that refers often to our military. And I want you to be really clear. I'm a strong advocate of the military. I come from a military family. I have 2 brothers that are in veteran cemeteries. In 2 weeks, I'm going to San Antonio, Texas, to intern my parents at the Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery there. I honor the work of our military. I honor the sacrifices of the families of the military and the members of the military themselves. But I think sometimes our military is sent in, and of course, their job is to follow the orders that they're given, sent in because we want to create something that is more comfortable for us. We see something happening outside of ourselves, and we feel discomfort within us. And so we react to that. So when we're facing any kind of conflict, we have 3 different responses. We either fight, or we flee, or we freeze up. And all too often, we have a tendency to fight before we do anything else. We have a tendency to go in and try to correct that wrong because what we're seeing is making us uncomfortable. It's making us feel some level of discomfort, whether we think this is it shouldn't be that way. We say in our minds, it shouldn't be that way. People shouldn't have to have that happen to them. It shouldn't be that way. So it's making us feel like, I want to change something. And oftentimes, what we think needs to be changed is not actually appropriate for the culture that we're going into. Cultures have survived long. United States is a pretty young culture as far as cultures go in the world. And we go in and we try to fix it. We try to solve it. We are peacekeepers. We are trying to make peace happen right there. We're trying to force it to happen. And we haven't looked within ourselves yet. As Melissa said in her song, it begins within us. As Debbie said in her meditation this morning, peace begins within us. Peace has to begin within us before we can actually bring it out. And all too often, our initial response is to try to fix it. We try to rush in and fix it because, again, we're feeling uncomfortable. And we either, like I said, those 3 things, we're either going to fight in a conflict, we're going to run away from it, or we're going to freeze up and not be able to do anything. And so that's just a natural human response. And yet, our natural inclination is often to try to go to that extreme of fighting it, counteract it somehow. But peacemakers are a whole different story. Peacemakers are people who will do whatever they can to not just avoid a conflict like in freezing it, but to not engage it and build it up into something more than what it is. To not try to make the problem worse than what it is by imposing our own will on how we think it should be. Peacekeepers use violence, where peacemakers use understanding. They use conversation. They use opportunity to get to know people a little bit better. Peacemakers are all about solving that problem. Peacekeepers are all about solving the problem. Peacemakers are more about understanding what the conflict is in the first place. And peacemakers historically have done this through the process of reconciliation. And so reconciliation is, you may have heard it with the Reconciliation Commission that was in South Africa after the apartheid ended. And then recently, in the last 4 or 5 years, Canada has put on a reconciliation, I don't know what they exactly called it, but it was a process of reconciliation for the First Nations people, the Indigenous people of Canada, to have a place to feel some peace about the situations that have happened. So reconciliation is a lot of things, but some things that it's not about finding somebody to blame. It's not about assigning fault to anybody. It's actually not even about fixing the problem. Reconciliation usually happens long after the situation has occurred. So apartheid was going on for centuries in South Africa. When it ended, they had the Reconciliation Commission. The treatment of the Indigenous people in Canada had gone on historically for several centuries. Now that they're trying to make amends for that, they bring in the Reconciliation Commission. Reconciliation is about giving people a place to be heard. Because as long as our stories are inside of us, there's stuff working in there. And we got to get it out. But as long as we keep it in, it just kind of festers. It doesn't move out of us. Reconciliation is about having a place to speak. And even more than that, it's having a place to be witnessed in whatever you've gone through. It's having someone else who is willing to sit in the discomfort of hearing your story and see what, just to be there, to be that place that sees what you have been through, that sees the injustices that people have experienced, that sees all of the hardships that have endured. Reconciliation is about being able to speak and to be heard. It's not about fixing the problem. It's about letting the problem come out so it doesn't stay in us and keep working in us all the time. Because that's when the problems really begin to get to us. We can't have peace inside of ourselves if we've got this festering story in there. We can't have peace in the world if we can't have it in ourselves. We are not peacemakers as long as we're disturbed within ourselves. And so it's about having that place to speak that out and let it be heard, let it be witnessed. I was talking a while back with a gentleman from Canada who was speaking about the reconciliation that was going on up there. And I don't know if many of you have heard about some of the atrocities that happened to the First Nations people, especially the children that were torn away from their families and taken to schools, generally church-run schools, where they were, everything about them they were told was wrong. Everything from their language, to their clothing, to the way they wore their hair, to the practices they engaged in, to their families. Everything about them they were told was wrong. And of course, when they didn't follow the line and change their behaviors, then they were punished. And that's why we have, I don't even know the numbers, thousands of mass graves of children that died in these homes. And families that were torn apart. And as long as that is inside the families that have been torn apart, and the people that have been injured and so forth by that, they can't reach a place of peace within themselves. And of course, if they can't reach a place of peace within yourself, you can't be peaceful to anyone else around you. And of course, that just encourages more conflict. Sometimes the conflict is with other people. Sometimes it's an internal conflict, and we wind up getting into addictions and behaviors that are not good for ourselves because we are so much at conflict within ourselves. And so this process of becoming a peacemaker is a process of reconciliation. It's about letting that stuff that's in us out to where we can begin to heal it. We can't heal it if we don't look at it. We can't heal it if we don't bring it up and let it be seen and heard and witnessed. So the process of becoming a peacemaker is twofold. For those who have been injured, and probably everyone here has suffered some sort of injury of some kind, whether it's just a slight against your character or someone you thought did you wrong. As long as we keep that in us, we can't get to that place of reconciliation, can't get to that place of being a peacemaker. And the other part is being willing to sit in the discomfort and listen to somebody else's problems and somebody else's pain and somebody else's trauma. We are so conflict avoidant most of the time in our world. We don't want to listen to it. We don't want to engage with other people. And it's not even so much about even painful situations. When we see things that disturb us in some kind of way, we have a tendency to want to fix it or get away from it or not have that in our experience because it doesn't feel good. But there is a wonderful, powerful spiritual practice of sitting in the discomfort, of being in the discomfort and moving through the discomfort that can take you deeper in your spirituality than anything else can. If we are willing to sit in the pain, to sit in the discomfort, to sit with the problem, whether that problem is something within ourselves or that problem sitting in front of us in the form of someone else. But avoiding it isn't going to get us anywhere. Avoiding it's going to keep it hidden inside of us. And that, like I said, it just kind of festers in there. I love that word, fester. My grandmother used to use that all the time. Usually it had to do with something I'd fallen on or skinned my knee, but she loved that word, fester. So our affirmation, when I make peace within myself, I make peace with everyone. When I can get to a place of peace within myself, when I'm willing to have the courage to tell my story, to stand in my truth, to stand in confidence in who I am, then that stuff no longer has a place to work in me. And when other people witness us standing in our truth and in our confidence and in our full power, as Marianne Williamson's quote says, we give people permission to do the same. When we are empowered within ourselves, people around us feel free to be empowered themselves, feel free to stand in their truth. There's something very powerful about being uncomfortable and moving through that discomfort. It will transform your life. To move through that place of discomfort. Now, this is the work of the heart. This is the work of the heart. It's not the work of the head. We can't rationalize this out. We can't think it out. We can't be logical about it. We have to tap into that inner wisdom, that heart-centered place of knowing. You know, the scientists have discovered that there's a cluster of nerves that are around your heart that actually operate more like your brain does than like regular nerves in your body. You know, regular nerves are just sending and receiving signals. But this cluster of nerves cells around our heart is more like a primal brain. And it operates without us having to have an intellectual knowledge of it. Just like the rest of our autonomic nervous system, it operates without taking thought. And so there is an innate wisdom in our heart that we can tap into. And when we lead from that place of heart-centeredness, then we really can begin to watch our lives transform. The Dalai Lama says, I can trust my heart's intentions. I can trust my heart's intentions. My heart is always moving for my highest and greatest good. My head has that ego in it that kind of rationalizes things and think, oh, no, not that. I don't want to do that. It kind of keeps us from moving forward sometimes. But our heart's leading the way. And our heart is always unfolding for our highest and greatest good. In the magazine Psychology Today, they listed 6 things for becoming a peacemaker in the world. And the first one was connect with your own heart. Connect with that heart, that intelligence, that inert wisdom that's within us. The second thing is build peace within your heart. So again, we do that work in consciousness. It's not about trying to rationalize it and think it out, because oftentimes the stuff seems very illogical. It's like, why in the world would I want to do that? Why in the world would I want to put myself in a situation where I feel uncomfortable? That just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But the heart says, oh man, step forward. Open up the door. Bring it on. The third thing has to do with reconciliation. And that is listen deeply to both sides. When we're in a conflict situation and we want to become a peacemaker in that situation, we have to understand both sides. We have to understand the people involved. We have to understand the culture involved. We have to understand the historical background of that. We have to understand what is truly happening there. I remember when I was taking my Bible wisdom class, the instructor kept saying, you can't understand the Bible unless you put yourself in the sandals of a first century Jew. You cannot the New Testament. You cannot understand the New Testament until you've walked in the sandals of a first century Jew, because things were different. And if we try to interpret things that are said in the first century in a Jewish culture to a 21st century modern culture, it is not going to make a lot of sense. So we have to be able to understand the culture that we're dealing with. We have to understand the historical background of it. We have to understand the mores and the values and the beliefs of the society. What is important to the society before we can actually begin to understand that. You know, I love that wonderful quote. I use it all the time. Is you very rarely hate a fellow when you know him very well. And so if we can get to that place where we know people, well, not only do we understand their side of the conflict, but we can understand what it stems from and why this is so important to them. The fourth thing is to recognize our interdependence. To recognize our interdependence. We are connected with each other. And what happens on one side of the planet affects the other side of the planet. What happens in one country has lasting impact on other countries. We never work in isolation. We may think we are. Oh, it's just over here. We may think that the war in Ukraine right now is only affecting that area of the world, but it isn't. I was talking to a friend in Mexico who's having trouble getting parts for a house she's building because the steel was coming from the Ukraine. And they can't get enough steel in Mexico to take care of it. So just simple things like that, let alone all of the impact of people who have family and friends in the countries where there's conflict right now, and how they deal with that within themselves. So recognizing our interdependence is vital to becoming a peacemaker. The fifth thing is to re-engage and listen to your compassionate heart. To re-engage with it and listen to it deeply again. What is your heart telling you? You know, it's a little bit of a practice to get to that place where you can hear your heart. But through meditation, through contemplation, being still, and asking those deep questions. Asking the questions that will actually get us to a different place. You know, and I say this a lot too, Joel Goldsmith says, you know the quality of your spirituality by the quality of the questions you ask. And so if you're asking quality questions, then you're going to get it to a deeper place. So if I say, why is this happening? That is not a quality question. That's a victim question. Why is this happening? But if I ask, what is the nature of this for the people involved? And you can see I can get to a deeper place there of understanding. So asking the quality questions and then listening deeply to what is revealed from within. You know, it's our process of visioning, where we go into the silence and we listen deeply and intently, and we ask quality questions, and we wait for the answers to be revealed. And sometimes they're very clear, and sometimes it's a little bit vague. And sometimes we don't hear anything at all, and then 3 weeks later, it's revealed to us. But asking the quality questions and listening deeply is a way to get to that place of inner peace. And then, of course, I love their last one. Repeat frequently. Do this over and over again. Practice it all the time. To get to that place of having an open and compassionate heart, get to that place of becoming a peacemaker in our life, it takes dedicated practice. It's not a one and done kind of thing. In fact, I haven't found any spirituality yet that's one and done. So, just in case you're wondering. You know, there's a lot of things that go along with this idea of coming from our heart to become a peacemaker. You know, along with that is gratitude and forgiveness. You know, when things come up for us that are disturbing to us, when things come up for us that make us uncomfortable, you know, we need to look deeply within our hearts to see what that discomfort is all about, and then check in to see if there's anything I need to forgive there. Maybe that discomfort has triggered something from my past. You know, maybe it reminds me of an abusive situation, or a time when I was neglected, or a time when I felt less than. And I'm triggered now. And so then I have to begin to look at that and say, okay, where do I need to forgive here? What do I need to forgive here? Even most oftenly, it's forgiving myself. And so always the process of forgiveness is involved in that. And of course, gratitude for what is good for us, what is happening for our life. Gratitude for all of the good things, and gratitude for the discomfort. The discomfort's going to transform us. The discomfort will take us to that next level, take us deeper in our connection with Spirit. There are other things that are involved in here, like respecting our own boundaries. You know, never is this an opportunity for someone to trample upon us. It's always a chance for us to be in the situation, knowing what my limits are, knowing what my boundaries are, knowing what my work is to do, and to remain in that situation until I have worked through it. Fleeing and running away from it has gotten us to the place we are in many of our areas of our lives. It's often just easier to run than it is to deal with the situation. But as we become more and more in touch with what is really happening within us, we can give ourselves that opportunity to move through it and to transform that situation into some kind of powerful experience of growth. Always self-reflection, looking at my actions, my attitudes, my thoughts, my belief system. And am I equating my belief system and putting it onto somebody else? There are thousands and thousands and thousands of different belief systems out there. Who's to say mine's the right one? Everyone has grown up in different cultures, different religions, different families, different ethnicities, different genders, different ways of living. How can I impose one standard to everyone? That keeps us in conflict. That keeps us in turmoil. So one of the powerful practices that I've found over the years to help me move through this idea of being a peacemaker, of active practice, something I can actively do to bring more peace into a situation, is a Buddhist meditation called the Tonglen. So Tong means giving or sending, and Lin means receiving or getting. The Buddhists often call this meditation the love on every breath meditation. I love that phrase, the love on every breath meditation. And so this is about breathing in the conflict. Now you may be thinking to yourself, well, I don't want that inside of me. But that's the fear thing, that's the avoidance thing, that's the running away from it thing. That doesn't serve anybody. And so we breathe in the conflict and the stress and the turmoil and so forth, and we allow our breath to move into our heart center, where that conflict is now transmuted and breathed out as resolution, as peace, as love. And so it's about breathing it in, letting Spirit do the work of the heart, and then breathing it back out again. If nothing else, this meditation will calm you down and get you out of that sense of anxiety and turmoil that's going on in it. It's not about avoiding it. I'm not running from it. That gets me out of it too. But it still stays there inside of me. This one is about allowing it to shift in me to where it comes forth in a more peaceful experience. So if you will with me, let's practice a little Tonglen right now. And so it has 4 components to it. The first one is about awakening the heart, so I'll do a little bit of that first. The second one is about visualizing the conflict, having it move into us, breathing it in and breathing it out. The third one has to do a little bit deeper with that, is to focus on the situation, the problems that are happening, and breathing out that confidence, joy, love, peace, the things that we're breathing out. And then the last part is an expansion of consciousness and compassion out to everyone. So if you would, just take in a deep breath. And if it feels okay, close your eyes. And as you continue to breathe, just simply bring your awareness to your heart center. I like to think of it as that place behind my sternum, my breastbone. That place where my rib cage comes together, in between the ribs and my spine, that entire area there. It is filled with my heart and my lungs. And as we breathe into that space, we just allow our bodies to relax. Maybe even open up our shoulder blades, moving your shoulders backwards so you have a more expansive chest cavity within your body. Allowing full space for the circulation of everything to move in and out of that heart center. And here we know that this is a place of love, of compassion, of peace. This is a place that is all-knowing, where the perfection of the divine is moving in and as each breath in our body. It moves into our body, and it moves out perfectly each time. Without taking thought, our breath is constantly flowing in and out of our heart center area. Now I want you to begin to visualize any kind of conflict you are aware of. It may be something you're experiencing. It may be something that someone else you know is experiencing. It may be something in the world where others that you don't even know are going through right now. And as you visualize that, breathe in the darkness that you feel there. If you feel heat or cold, breathe that in. If you feel unsafe or distressed, breathe that in. And then as you breathe out, release the light. Just visualize light coming out with your breath. Breathing in the heaviness, breathing out lightly, brightly, brilliantly. So bring in any anger that may be present. Breathe that in. Allow it to be transmuted and breathe out love. Breathe in any fear. And breathe out trust. Breathe in doubt. And breathe out knowing. Breathe in injury. And breathe out safety. Breathe in conflict. And breathe out peace. And so knowing that this is simply a practice, I invite you to continue it anytime you feel the distress, anytime you are reminded of this conflict, this situation. Anytime you feel conflict within yourself, just simply take that opportunity to go within, connect with your heart, breathe in the situation, allow it to be transmuted, and breathe it out, allowing yourself to be transformed. So just taking another deep breath. If you need to wiggle around a little bit, that always helps me get back into the room. It's powerful work that we have to do. It's our world work. It was given to us at least 2,000 years ago. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Let's take this into prayer. I invite the practitioners to stand and surround us, holding that light of consciousness, that peace. These folks know how to do this work, and they do it beautifully, in service to our community, in service to the world. I'm so grateful for each one of them. And so I just simply turn within to that place in consciousness, to that heart-centered place of divine wisdom, of peace, of love, of knowing. That place where I connect with the Spirit, that divine indwelling presence, a creative love intelligence that has brought forth everything into existence, that is the isness, the allness, and the fullness of all life. It is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, and every single thing in between. For nothing exists outside of this one incredible loving intelligence. I know that one is in me. It is moving through me, as me. It is showing up in all that I do and all that I am. It is that wisdom of my heart. It is that divine, innate guidance that knows exactly what to do in every situation. It is the truth of who I am. And because I know this is true for me, I know this is true for everyone, that we are each that unique and perfect emanation of the one, created as that place of peace, of love, that place where the divine intelligence expresses itself beautifully. And so I speak my word of truth, knowing that each one of us is that perfect manifestation of the one, brought here to be the peacemakers, brought here to bring peace and love and joy into this world. Through each of our hands and our hearts, our minds and our feet, we show up as love, as peace, as that place of security and safety for everyone we come in contact with. And I know that there is a grace that is present as we move through this discomfort, that is showing up in bringing our lives to a new place of power, a new place of being, a new place of living from. This is magnificent work that we are here to do, and we are perfectly and beautifully equipped to do it. All we need is our willingness. And oh, how grateful I am to know this. I am so grateful to see it happening here in this community right now. I am so grateful to know that it is expanding beyond these walls, beyond this city, beyond this state, in fact, into all of the world. Because I know that nothing is ever done in isolation. I just simply give great thanks for the unfoldment of it here and now. And I release this word into the law, to that creative mind that always says yes. Yes and yes. I let it go and I let it be. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. All right, thank you. So now we're going to go into our sharing of our tithes and offerings. We have lots of different ways for you to give. If you'd like to give in person today, we have ushers who are going to be passing the basket around. If you'd like to give online and do that in person today, we have Kelly Marshall in the back with her computer out handy to take your donations online. If you'd like to do that, we have lots of ways. You can do a text to give. We can Zelle. We can do it on the website. And we are thrilled to have cash and checks too. So, if you would, if you're giving on electronically, just put your hands over your heart. If you're giving in person, put your offering over your heart. Just hold it near and dear to that heart-centered space. And repeat after me. This gift I give, goes forth from me, does amazing and miraculous things, and returns to me in kind. Pressed down and flowing over. And so it is. Melissa's got another song for us, and Justin, here we go. Oh, this is a good one, too. I like this. Not that the other one wasn't good, but...
Oh, I think it punctuates very well.
Yes, it does.
Okay. I've been happy lately, thinking about the good things to come, and I believe it could be something good has begun. I've been smiling lately, dreaming about the world as one, and I believe it could be someday it's gonna come. 'Cause out on the edge of darkness there rides a peace train. Peace train, take this country, come take me home again. Oh, I've been happy lately, thinking about the good things to come, and I believe it could be something good has begun. Peace train sounding louder, ride on the peace train. Ooh, ah, ee-ah, ooh, ah, this is the peace train. Peace train's a holy roller, everyone jump up on the peace train. Ooh, ah, ee-ah, ooh, ah, this is the peace train. Get your bags together, go get your good friends too, because it's getting nearer, soon it will be with you. Come and join the living, it's not so far from you. And it's getting nearer, soon it will all be true. Oh, peace train sounding louder, ride on the peace train. Ooh, ah, ee-ah, ooh, ah, come on the peace train. I've been crying lately, thinking about the world as it is. Why must we go on hating? Why can't we live in bliss? 'Cause out on the edge of darkness there rides a peace train. Peace train, take this country, come take me home again. Out on the edge of darkness there rides a peace train. Peace train, take this country, come take me home again. Peace train sounding louder, ride on the peace train. Ooh, ah, ee-ah, ooh, ah, come on the peace train. The peace train's a holy roller, everyone jump up onto the peace train. Ooh, ah, ee-ah, ooh, ah, come on, come on, come on, come on. Ooh, ah, ee-ah, ooh, ah, come on the peace train.
Gotta have a little Cat Stevens in the morning. Woo! All right, we've got a couple announcements here for you. First off, our beautiful flowers today are sponsored by the Marshall family. If you would like to sponsor flowers, you can go to our website, or you can see Kelly Marshall in the back corner. We have one opening left in June that needs flowers, and then July and August are open. So if you're interested in sponsoring for any kind of special event or anyone you want to acknowledge or just because you like beautiful flowers, you get to take them home with you afterwards. So we're happy to receive your sponsorship of that. And we are currently involved in a service project right now with Friends of the Desert. It's an organization that provides meals and services to the unhoused population in our area here, and we are collecting between Mother's Day and Father's Day, because all collections always happen around Thanksgiving and Christmas. I thought, let's do something in the summer. We're collecting clean socks for men and women, so we're happy to receive those anytime between now and Father's Day. We're also collecting clean, used food containers because they give the folks the leftover food to take home with them. So if you have any good, clean, used, I happened to have a delicious soup last night from the Thai restaurant, so there we go. They get the clean, used container afterwards. So Charlotte and Kat are in the back there to collect it right here at this first table, so under the TV over there. If you want to talk to them about any of the services and so forth, we are so glad to be partnering with Friends of the Desert to provide a little extra support to our unhoused folks in the valley. Also now on Friday, May 26th at noon is the memorial service for our beloved Lottie Hortzman, who passed in the end of April. She had been with us for many years as a devoted member of our community, and she made her transition very peacefully on April 30th. Her daughter, Elania's, organized a memorial service at the Las Vegas Center for Spiritual Living, which is on Rancho. All of the information is on our website. It is going to be a potluck, and Jill Peterson is here helping to organize the potluck. So if you have any questions about that, Jill, are you willing to get questions? Okay. So Jill will help answer any questions if you'd like to see what you can bring to help with the potluck. Lottie loved a good potluck. And so, like many of us do, it's a great way to celebrate a beloved community member and a beloved life. So if you're interested in that, please consider going to on Friday, May 26th at noon, Las Vegas Center for Spiritual Living. Next Sunday, we haven't had one in ages, but we're going to have a live guest speaker. And so it is a very dear friend of mine, colleague, classmate. She has for many years been organizing and leading international nonprofits on 3 different continents. She spent a considerable amount of time with an international nonprofit in Egypt during the revolution. She has a unique perspective on peace from an international point of view. So she's going to be here with us next Sunday to speak. Her name is Sonia Byrne, and currently she's Canadian living in Mexico, and with all of her friends in the United States. So she's got a lot of international stuff going on. Very delightful speaker and a powerful presence. So hope you'll join us next Sunday when I'll be here too, but Sonia's going to be speaking, leading the service. So, all right, I think we are feeling good. Let's do a little benediction, and then Justin's going to sing us out. Or Melissa, you going to sing with us for Use Me? Yeah, use me. Sure. Excuse me, Melissa. Might as well get one more out of her before she leaves. Melissa and her family, Doug and the kids are moving soon. They're going to Oregon. We're certainly going to miss their presence here, but I know that a wonderful thing is unfolding for them as their life opens up in Oregon. What a beautiful climate, and they're at a beautiful community there, and so we're wishing them all the best. But we'll get one more song out of you before you go. All right, would you stand, please? If you're comfortable, join hands. If you're not, that's perfectly okay. I know that we're still experiencing some of these buggy things. So, if you would, repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
It is this thing called peace.
It is this thing called peace.
Peace is in my mind.
Peace is in my mind.
Peace is in my heart.
Peace is in my heart.
Peace is in all that I do.
Peace is in all that I do.
I am it.
I am it.
I share it.
I share it.
And I am becoming a peacemaker.
And I am becoming a peacemaker.
Thank you, peace.
Thank you, peace.
And so it is. Have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye, everyone online. We'll see you next week.
All right, here we go, everyone. Sing it up. Use me, oh God, I stand.
and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do.
All right, one more time.
Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do.
Have a great week, everyone.
Together we rise as the sun lights up the sky, opening our hearts to the spirit of love inside.